Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to cover the latest day of the Games Planet Spring Sale, with a lot of great deals going live right now. Remember that you do have a limited window to pick these games up. They are flash deals, so try to jump on them as soon as possible if you are interested in it. The video is really not going to be valid tomorrow, so let's get right into it, because there's a lot of good stuff that is on sale. Links to everything in the description box below. If you do buy anything, I get a bit of a kickback. That is much appreciated. First of all, we have Vanquish, 70% off for $5.99. You guys often see some gameplay of this title on my channel. It is a super over-the-top, action-heavy title. Even by Platinum Game standards, who are known for doing fast-paced action titles, Vanquish is on another level of how fast-paced and wild it is. It's a super short game, which I think ultimately was the game's undoing when it initially released back in 2010, but you're not paying $60 anymore. You're paying 10% of that cost at $5.99. And for $5.99, if you're looking for a game that you can complete over a weekend, Vanquish is a pretty darn good one and a very, very enjoyable title. So $6 for Vanquish, definitely a great buy there. Next up, Mad Max, 79% off for $4.25. Mad Max is one of those games that had kind of an unfortunate release date. It came out September 1st of 2015, the same day as Metal Gear Solid 5. MGS 5 had its issues, but MGS is a gargantuan franchise, which Mad Max, from a gaming standpoint, really wasn't. And you're talking about two open world titles. But Mad Max actually turned out to be a pretty decent game. Was it a $60 worth it title? No, but it was a pretty decent open world title that had an interesting story by the end. The combat was pretty satisfying, and, you know, performance-wise, it ran really, really well. It is Steam Deck verified, so you can play it on their Vanquish is Deck verified as well, so that is something to note. But for $4.25, great buy here. Next up, we have Digimon Survive. A little bit more on the expensive side on this for sure, 40% off for $36. Digimon Survive, as a big Digimon fan, is a game that I enjoyed. However, you have to know what you're getting yourself into when you do play this game. This game is predominantly a visual novel. As far as the visual novel versus tactical gameplay split in this game, it's really like 70 to 30%, maybe even 75-25. Like, expect a ratio like that. So you're getting mostly a visual novel. However, you are getting a more mature Digimon story that works out pretty darn well. The tactics gameplay is fine. It works well enough, but you are getting this, getting into this game for the narrative, and I think the narrative is quite strong. If you're a Digimon fan like me, $36 is steep, but I still think it might be something worthwhile to check out. Now, on the other side of things, Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Complete Edition is probably a Digimon game that would be up the alley of a lot of you guys. Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth is very much a turn-based style Digimon game that has a ton of content, and this version is the Complete Edition with both titles. You get Cyber Sleuth and Hacker's Memory. Essentially what that means is you get an obscene amount of content, like an absurd amount of content out of these games. So, you know, from $1 per hours of gameplay standpoint, this might be the best deal on this list that I'm going over, but yeah, $11.24 to a lengthy JRPGs. They have reused assets and things like that, so keep that in mind, but overall, for the price, you can't go wrong with this one. Next up, couple Sonic titles. Sonic Frontiers, 35% off for $39. Tremendous deal on Sonic Frontiers. A Sonic game that I ended up really enjoying. Does it have its issues? Absolutely. The gameplay definitely can be more refined, but from a soundtrack standpoint, exploration standpoint, I thought the game turned out pretty well. I enjoyed the platforming. Maybe people don't like the more open level design of the game, but I liked it, and I thought it was a nice change of pace for Sonic, and hopefully Sega can build upon what they did in Sonic Frontiers and create, I don't know, a Sonic Frontiers 2 that turns out even better, because I think the potential is certainly there. Let's see if Sega can ultimately execute on that in a couple years, when I'm sure this game will get a follow-up title. Also, a classic Sonic Generations collection, 57% off for $8.50. Sonic Generations were released at a time where Sonic games were pretty friggin' terrible, and Sonic Generations turned out to be a pretty darn good one. I mean, Sonic games in general are still pretty hit or miss, but Sonic Generations was a darn good one, combining both styles of Sonic, kind of the idea of the game. If you're looking for a quality platformer, Generations is going to offer you that, so check that out. Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, 92% off for $3.20. Great deal on a tactics-oriented title. You know, I'm not big into tactics games. I always recommend XCOM, but Shadow Tactics had a great setting, great aesthetic design, and the gameplay was relatively refined where you could enjoy it. Even if you're not a big tactics gaming fan, for $3.20, you don't have a lot to lose, and I think this is a pretty good price for it, all things things considered. Next up, we have My Hero One's Justice 2, 86% off for $8.10. A fan of My Hero Academia for sure. I haven't watched the more recent seasons, but obviously for these anime games, and we'll get to another one in a second, probably best to pick these up if you are a fan of the IP. My Hero Academia is something that really popped off for me when the initial first season came out. I enjoyed the second season. I watched the third season, but I didn't vibe with the third season as much. But seasons 1 and 2 I really liked, and the season 4 onwards I haven't caught up on yet. But this is a good arena fighter, and if you're a fan, you end up enjoying these games. Not to the point where it's worth $60, but for $8.10, I think this is a pretty solid deal if you are a fan of My Hero Academia. So check that out if you are interested. Prince of Persia 2008 is 80% off for $1.95. This is the only game on the list that doesn't redeem on Steam. It redeems on Ubisoft Connect, which is a bummer, but for $1.95, I still thought this was worth a mention. I believe this game originated as a non-Prince of Persia title, and then it kind of got reskinned as a Prince of Persia game. Don't quote me on that, but I feel like I heard that somewhere, and it's definitely something that you kind of experience when you play through this game, because it doesn't really feel much like a Prince of Persia game. It's super, super easy, so bear that in mind, but the game's art style is fantastic, and I thought that was a great element of the game. It is also 15 years old, so obviously it's going to show its age, but that art style has actually aged relatively well. So for $1.95, don't think that's a bad buy at all. And lastly, give another mention to an anime title, kind of relevant right now as the latest season just kicked off, but Demon Slayer Kimetsu no Yaiba, the Hinokami Chronicles is 58% off for $25. Yes, super, super expensive for whatever reason. Sega published title. I don't know why this is held up in price this strongly. I think it initially came out back in 2021, so it's been like 16, 18 months since it's come out, but, you know, if you're a Demon Slayer fan, you'll probably pay the premium. I've enjoyed it. You know, it's not super blowaway or anything, but the animation is blowaway, and the soundtrack is great. But, yeah, obviously one of the most popular anime out right now, and for $25, once again, a pretty decent arena fighter. I love the cast of characters in Demon Slayer. I think they're great, and, you know, a fun arena fighter that $60 again is way too much. You can make the argument $25 is way too much, but if you are a fan, might be something worthwhile to check out for those of you that are super into Demon Slayer. Maybe you're in the mood because you're watching the new season, etc., etc. But there is also bonus content, so you know, there's a lot of DLC and whatnot for the game, so that's a bummer, but $25 is an okay price, all things considered. But that is going to do it for me. Again, Games Planet been rocking out a lot of great deals across this sale, a lot of good stuff available right now. Links to everything in the description box down below. That will be doing it for me. Check out some of these titles again: Vanquish, Sonic Generations on the cheap, Mad Max, those are really good deals. Prince of Persia, even though it's not Steam, some good stuff there. So check out the links in the description box below. Thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.